was like, I had it like planned. I was gonna post and then jump on in and be all excited, but then all of a sudden I can't post the link to the, I'm sorry, can you stop this? I'm sorry, can we cut it? You gotta cut it. I'm sorry. I know I was leaving it in and I was coming in with a good mood, but just because this thing just happened right now, I'm in the bad mood and we're tearing this up. That's it, it's over. Cut it. Cut it. Jimmy, please. Okay? Porque estamos hasta aquí contigo. You know, y'all think it's like, oh, this is like sunshine and rainbows and everyone's happy and stuff because we want to go again. You know. But no. Estamos jugando hoy. No. Jimmy, goodbye. Can I get the main thing? Please? I mean, like, not even ready. Estaba ahí, not even paying attention, not knowing what's going on, don't know who I am. Who are you? No one. No one. No one. Heat cultura, heat cultura, heat cultura, heat cultura. Heat cultura, heat cultura, heat cultura, heat cultura, heat cultura, heat cultura, heat cultura. Heat cultura. I am studiomogura, studiomogura. Hit me up at the PayPal, hit me up at the Cashapp. All donations go toward the making of my animated pilot and my feature film. Still working on it. We're doing it. I actually had a lot of progress, bro. Yeah, I haven't been here for a while, and that's literally why I haven't been here. Okay? This takes a lot of time and energy to do. But the animated pilot takes even more time and energy to do. And when you're doing it by yourself, you gotta pick one or the other. But today was special, so we're back here. Buy my book, Full Moon Nights, available on Amazon. Chronicle of the Miami rave scene in the early 2000s. Basically, my misadventures as a raver growing up in Miami. That was my first novel. But please buy my second novel, Hell in Heels. The story of a man saving another man from a group of crazed biker women seeking to kill them and their family. It is a action, thriller, adventure, grindhouse comedy thing based on my third screenplay. Please check that out. Mature audiences only for basically everything. Check out my comic shop, Octo Taco. I'm getting back in it because there's a few things which we're gonna catch up on and we're gonna touch on today. If I don't forget after I smoke this bowl, I'm bringing back all my websites because I'm trying to shift out of social media and like just use it to promote at this point. Because if you go to my Studio Mogura, I can't post right now. My account got restricted again. We'll get into that. Check out my TeePublic with all my t-shirt designs, including the official Cultura t-shirt. Please support, man. People have been buying shirts, and I don't even always forget about it. And it's like that's a really easy way to make money because people buy t-shirts, So I'm gonna try and get back in on that. Try and do some more of that stuff. So stay tuned for that. I've got some designs I gotta put up, but it's just I like to design Marvel stuff. I like to design this stuff, but they take it down. They take it down if it's copyrighted. So, and if I put my own designs, nobody buys that shit. So I don't know what to tell you. And then lastly, check out my playlist, my El Topo playlist that's my YouTube playlist. But you can find me on Spotify, El Topo and PMCRW PM Crew. Check our playlist out and please play because that's an easy way to entertain yourself and make us money. Not a lot of money, just a couple $100, but it helps. So so that's it. I know I've been away for a long time, and I apologize. But at the same time, I don't because I've been working on the animated pilot, and it's been going good. I got 2.5 minutes done. Right now, I'm in the middle of this next 3-minute chunk, and then after this 3-minute chunk, I've got the 7 minutes. That's the big finale. And in this 3 minutes, I've got the first half of it drawn, and it's sketched, and I know where it's going, and I just gotta continue to draw the key frames and then the in betweens, and it's just it's a lot. It's a lot. And I know there's some AI that could do it for me, and I know that if I would have learned how to do rigging, it would be a lot easier. But it literally, that takes a long time to learn. And at this time, I might as well just start drawing it now rather than waste that time. No, let me just get it out there, and then we'll get to that. But that's where I've been at. And I've been watching the Heat games, and then, I told you before, man, I'm not going to do another show until, something happens, either have a really big win or something, and even this whole drama with Butler wasn't enough to bring me out. I'm not coming out because of Butler. No. I'm coming out because, like E. Reed says, this was a breakthrough night. We discovered something. I know we beat San Antonio's because that's not oh my God, one of the best teams in the league, but they're one of the up-and-comers. They're being molded to become one of the best teams in the league. So if I see them I was surprised to see that we're kind of like a mirror to them. And with the emergence of Ware, I think today was a day that we can all admit that this team is different. This team is on the verge of just a real philosophy change. Because Spo has always been the guy about small ball, small ball, small ball. He's never really been a big man guy. He's never been a guy that has big men on the team. Sure, we had when we had Shaq, that was with Pat Riley, and even when we had Whiteside, we could never get that going, and that we should have really been dominating Whiteside. Whiteside could have been great here. I felt there was so much potential with him, and ultimately it faded because we really didn't know how to use him, and so now we're kind of being forced because we're getting wiped the floor with everybody. Everyone's destroying us. No one takes us seriously. Nobody fears us. We're soft. We're a soft team. And so something's got to give. And at this point, if you don't change anything and if you don't follow through with something that that's actually working, and you could not deny the fact that Jovic and Ware were working really well together. Because every time they get put in the game, we put up a 15-point lead, and then you put it in the starters, and the starters lose the lead. And that's been the formula this whole time. The games that we win have been won like literally by the skin of our teeth. We rarely have a game where we blow somebody out by 20 points. You know, and this wasn't that the Spurs weren't doing good. No, Spurs were hitting shots, and Wembanyama was, but Wemby was having trouble with where. I mean, Wemby got his when he wanted it, and he just went in there and destroyed it. That was actually amazing to see. But then, boom, where it comes back. So I think we found something there. And at that point, like, when you're making that Wemby look like that, like, you can't deny where anymore. You can't. And I feel like Spo was trying his best to, because he was just trying to, he didn't want to, like, hurt Bam's feelings, because that's Spo's biggest flaw, is that he doesn't like to hurt guys' feelings. You know? But by not hurting guys' feelings, ultimately now you're getting this problem with Butler. Because Butler wants to win. Butler likes to hurt guys' feelings. Butler likes to tell you that you suck, and Butler will, and here he can do that to some extent, but he really can't. Something happened to Butler that, dare I say, neutered him. They didn't like completely cut his balls off, but it like kind of nicked him. And like he can't really go totally apeshit on these people, because this is the best organization he's been with. And I feel deep down inside he wants to stay here. He wants to be here. What do you want? Where the fuck you want to go? You want to go to Milwaukee from Miami? Really? Really? You think? Come on. Maybe it's that his coffee's not selling really well here, and it would sell better in Milwaukee because it's colder. You know, and here he's got to compete with the Cuban coffee, and that's a big deal. Maybe it's that. Because it ain't the fact that it's 79 degrees today while the rest of the country is dealing with like a polar freaking vortex. I mean, come on, let's be real. If it's just money, you'll get money. You're just not going to get money now, because we can't. We just gave this other guy money. And now we're going to be set up to have to give this guy money at some point. You know, if Ware can keep developing, and we can develop Ware into with the same kind of like mentality that we have, but I don't know, man. Like, I even feel a little bit that Spo is a little bit kind of frazzled himself. Everybody's been frazzled, and I don't know why. And it wasn't something that just happened in the middleweight. No. Everybody came into this season like, eh. The only person that came into the season ready to kill was Hero. And Highsmith. Highsmith is always ready. And Jaquez has done better, but Jaquez still needs to be better at taking care of the ball. Jaquez can be a star, just like Hero. We have a lot of great players, but they're still raw. They're still young. That's something that, like, we aren't really used to. And I don't think fans, and I don't think people in my outsiders of, you know, watching Miami are used to. But they see Miami usually filled with veterans and older guys and guys that are castaways, and then they make it happen with those guys. We've never been a team that builds young, that builds from the ground up. And the last time we did that was with Wade. That we found Wade, and then we're like, shit. But now, you know, we drafted Hero, we drafted Jaquez, we got Jovic. Now we have Ware. We got Bam. Got Highsmith. I mean, like, we got Robinson. Like, we've got guys on this team that we have built from the ground up. This isn't a team that's like, oh, this is like the complete opposite of the Big Three. The Big Three was this flashy, hey, they were in Hollywood, the Beatles and whatever, or Heatles. This is the complete opposite. This is a team that's like literally built through the draft, built from the ground up. This team has the talent to compete because we've seen them. We've seen them compete. We've seen them. This team is the only new guy is Ware. And Burks. Que también has been great. Like, we have got enough. That's not a problem. It's that we're not playing cohesively There's no rhythm. There's no like that. We aren't we aren't in tune. And we're like still tuning it up, and it's like I can totally understand Butler's frustration. That is like, man, we shouldn't have to literally still be figuring it out every year. Because seemingly that's what Spo does every year. That's why we refer to Spo as the mad scientist. Because that's what he is. Every year he comes in, he starts tinkering with the no, man, like just let's go. And I feel like that sometimes kind of creates this weird thing, but he's done it every year. So why isn't he used to it? You know, why isn't Butler used to it? Why would he be that be the problem? We saw Butler and Spo clash before over Strus because he was playing Robinson and Robinson wasn't performing, and Butler was telling him play Strus. And then finally, when he broke in and he played Strus, boom, the Miami Heat started winning. This is very similar to that in that like he hasn't wanted to play Ware because he doesn't want to hurt Bam's feelings. But we don't got a choice no more, and Bam has underperformed. And this was the first time that I saw Bam actually working really well. Bam plays better with Ware in there because Bam is free to kind of just be this like ball hawk that like you forget about. Because Ware is the guy that's like, oh man, all in front of you, and then Bam comes in all out of nowhere. Like there was a moment in this game, everybody saw it. When Bam made the outside, like the mid-range shot that he just tossed it after, like a ball went around perfectly, landed to Ware, everybody went to Ware passes the Bam, Bam takes the shot, boom, it is in. Like that little sequence right there, that felt right. And everybody knows that shit. Everybody watching that game felt it at that moment that was the lineup. That right there. That's who we're gonna go to war with. We need Butler at point guard. Hero and Robinson draining threes. And Ware and Bam up front. And then you just start from there. Start from there. You gotta get Jovic in this game, so you know you're gonna have Jovic to put in immediately because Jovic, and you gotta have Jovic back up Bam. I think that's. I don't know what you're gonna do because that's something we're not used to because the fear is we need someone to back up Bam. Bam is our big guy. So when you move that, it's like you're starting to kind of like shift the earth here. But it's gotta happen. It's got to happen. You can't stop nature. And we're seeing that as humans right now, that you can't stop nature. Nature's going to ultimately correct itself if you don't, like, fucking correct it. If you don't, like, work to, like, make this place better, nature's going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to get rid of this shit that's fucking me up. We're seeing that. And I'm not just talking about the fires, man. Like before the fires, there were the fucking hurricanes and the floods and shit. Now we're going to see like snowstorms and shit. And like everything's going to be turned up a notch to 100. This team is not dead. We've been here before. At 20 and 21, I mean, it's not where we should be. We should be much better. And if we're going to make a run, let's make the run now. But you can't make this run if Jimmy doesn't buy in. And let me tell you, there were a lot of moments in this game. I do not like to question Jimmy's like drive, Jimmy's effort. I know he ain't an asshole, right? That's just who he is. But, man, there were a couple times in this game where you had to question his effort. And you had to question, wait a minute, did Jimmy do that on purpose? Taking bullshit shots? Passing up wide open layups? Putting Hero in the corner? Like, come on, man. And then you see him on the bench at the end of the game after, like, Ware does that monster dunk. And that Bam is like, fuck yeah. That Bam is like, finally, man. Like, yeah, something to yell at him. And you look at him on the bench and he's like, golf clapping it. And it's like, I don't want to be like, oh, well, he's supposed to be dancing and he's supposed to be like, yeah, yelling. But even before that, something positive had happened and he was still like not even like really too excited. Like you see in front of him the shot of like you see Kevin, I think it was Kevin Love that was like clapping and like and behind him he had the same fucking cara de mierda face of like or really it's not even a cara de mierda face of it's really more of a face of like, wait a minute, like should I stay here or should I I mean, is this something good? Are we like what's going on here? But no, I don't want to give in. I don't want to celebrate it just yet because I don't believe it. Like it was kind of like that. It was, I don't know, man. Like I hate to read people's body language like that because you just don't know what they're ever thinking. But that's the vibe. You know what a vibe is, man. When you rock into a room and there's a chick there and you and her make eye contact and there is electricity between you. There is a vibe that oh. Before that, you say that you and her are going to hook up, she's already talking to you. Because she knows it. Or he knows it. Or they know it. Like electricity, the vibe. And you could feel the vibe. I don't give a shit, bro. Talk all the fucking hell you want about not. Oh, you can't feel anything through the screen. Bullshit. You can see it. And everybody felt the same way everybody felt when they made that dunk, when they made that sequence, that they were kicking ass. You felt the same way when you see Butler ahí con cara de mierda. We can't be great if he does not buy in. But we will survive without him. This franchise will continue on without Butler. This franchise will go on. And you know what? We're not going to disappear. We're not going to be what bottom batter of the league. Yeah, you know what? We have one off year, sure. But you know what? We'll come back. There is enough foundation. And Spo's a great coach. So Riley's at top looking at everybody. He's still got a couple good years on him. He ain't stupid. And don't tell me that there ain't somebody that's underneath him that's not going to be able to take his position and be like, yeah, don't worry, and nothing's going to change. We're still going to be one of the top competing teams in the league. And we're still going to find guys and grill them and turn them into really good players. We will go on. Jimmy Butler will go somewhere else, and if he doesn't literally win a title with whatever team he goes with, he disappears into obscurity, and they're always going to remember him as a Miami Heat. Nobody else is going to retire his jersey. Nobody else is going to be like, hey, we're inviting you to the reunion. You think 76ers are going to invite him somewhere? You think Minnesota's going to invite him somewhere? You think the Bulls are going to call back Jimmy Butler? Hey, come to our reunion. Nuh-uh. It's the Miami Heat they're going to call Jimmy Butler back. Hey, come and hang with us. It's the Miami Heat. They're going to be like, you know what? We're going to retire his jersey. What? You're going to be third fiddle to somebody else? To Kevin Durant? You think they're going to raise your jersey up in Phoenix then? No, they're not. Like, we're not done. And I know before this, I was crying, oh, this is over. We're going to trade everybody. Yeah. Because we needed something to happen. Something to wake up this team. What do you want me to do? You know, I don't blame Woody Johnson for firing Robert Saleh. I blame him because he made a mistake, and he shouldn't have done that, but I understand why he did that. As a Jet fan who's being there tortured every day, like Alex from freaking Clockwork Orange. Hence the name. Come on, like, I understand that shit. So, of course, I was ready to just do something. Do something. But he did the wrong thing. Sure, shouldn't have fired him. Should have fired somebody else. But he fired the wrong guy, like an idiot. Don't know what to tell you. This ain't a Jets show. With Tyler Hero's performance, this team should be one of the top teams in the East. Being number six and lower, that's not, no. I'm talking one of the top 3 best teams in the East. Top 4 if you want to be nice. Because top 4, because you got to date, 2-2. So, the 2 last games of to fight for the Eastern Conference Finals. Top 4. We should be there, even with just Hero being good. And we have Bam. We have Butler. We have Robinson. Look at Robinson today, bro. Over 20 points, man. Get a win. Still undefeated. This team has guys. They just have to perform. And there's nothing else to say because these guys are veterans. These guys have been here for a long time. We've been through this shit. We've seen this shit. We've come out of it. We've gone back there willingly. Hurt, everything. We've seen it. This is an experienced team. Yet it plays like it's completely unexperienced, completely not knowing where it's going, not knowing what to do, who to pass it to, who's on my team. I don't know who you are. That's how this team acts. Should not be this way. Today was a great example of the potential this team has. Now it's up to Spo to come in there and keep it, and not chicken out of this, because that's how he is. Oh, I want to go back to my thing. I don't like this. This is new. He's like my dad with a new form of technology. No, I don't want no. Come on, live in the now. Something has to happen with this team. There's got to be a change, and this is a perfect time to do it. Perfect time to do it. Midway through the season, let's go. If we don't like where we ended now, so let's try and change something so that we can get better. And this is it. This is it. He's gonna have to just do it. Guy's gonna have to go out there and that's the lineup. The lineup that we have that we should be winning with is the one I said before, with Ware, Bam, Hero, Robinson, and Butler at the point. Put the ball in Butler's hand. Put the spotlight on him. Forget Rozier. Stop starting Rozier, man. You can't start Rozier anymore because Rozier is terrible. Rozier is better coming off the bench, backing up Butler. Jovic is great coming off the bench, backing up Bam. Or Jaquez comes in, backs up Bam, and Jovic backs up Ware. If you got to go to Kevin Durant, you go to Kevin Durant, because you can get 1 or 2 threes out of Kevin on a good night. But you can't fucking keep bringing him in there or leave him in there for too long. But really, a lot of this has to go on Robinson's shoulder. Robinson has to be able to meet Hero eye to eye. I know Robinson is not a great, oh my God, this is Michael Jordan, or is he? Because when he plays like D-Rob, that's something else. I'll tell you, D-Rob will take Michael Jordan right to school. Let's go. That's who he should play as. Not as Duncan Robinson. I don't want Duncan Robinson. I want D-Rob. Tonight we got D-Rob. This team has potential. This team has players. This team has talent. There's no excuse. And that's where I get upset. And that's where we all get upset, because it's broken record time here. I mean, because what else are you going to do? But today was a day that we figured out something to do. Change the lineup. Change the starting lineup. Start Ware alongside Bam. Look at how it looks. Robinson, Hero, Butler. Come on. Should have had that with Precious Achiuwa. With Precious, should have been starting him alongside Bam. And then after Precious, there was somebody else that I forget that we had that should have sat him starting alongside Bam. Whiteside. When we had Whiteside, should have started him alongside Bam. Come on. Make the change. Stop making this about small ball. I mean, on other teams who are trying to make it about the three, man, like if you want to be the defensive guy or be the different team that doesn't follow the everybody else with the 3-point shooting, well then, just make us this huge, insanely monstrous team that also shoots threes, because look at where he can shoot from the three. That's the big key, that this only works if Bam can go in there, kick it out to Ware, and Ware hits those shots. Bam has to do the same. Bam has to be able to, if he can't hit the three, at least be automatic from mid-range, so that when Ware kicks it out, Bam is there to boom. It's the only way this works. And if not, you got to find the other guys, man. The other guys got to want the ball. That's something that this team is like kind of struggled with all year. It's guys got to want the ball, want to take the shot, don't want to pass it. Stop it with the fucking passing, man, and like being polite, bro. You need to understand that sometimes when you're driving and you're polite, you're polite to that person that you're letting in front of you. And you're like, oh, I'm a good person because I'm polite to that person in front of you. But you don't realize that you're being an asshole to 100 people behind you. That happens a lot. Like, yes, sometimes you're being polite, and it's great to be polite. We want to be nice to each other, sure. But sometimes you don't have to be polite. Because if you're polite to that one particular person because you want the brownie points, you ultimately screw over everybody else behind you who's been waiting patiently. Like, just do it. Nike that shit. It's time. We need to change. So yeah, we're back, I guess, I mean, I didn't even blink. I don't think I took a breath. I don't have that much coffee, so I'm trying to save it. I wanted to put on the Eagle game, but then like I don't want to like drag down the recording, so palapinga one. So you know what? I'll do this. Let me put the Eagle game on my phone. Yeah, there you go. Get that going. What's the fourth though? That's crazy, bro. I don't know how these people play in this weather. That's nuts. So, I'm rocking glue, and I'm rocking it's just like something glue. It's like Elmer's glue or something like that. It was like the original glue. That's what it was from the Flowery. It's the original glue, and then I'm doing some Sunset Sherbet still. There was a good deal on 7 grammars, so I just said fuck it, let me just get that, so I don't have to make a fucking trip back there in the next like for a while. I have to kind of slow down because I've been like going crazy. What can I say about the Butler thing? I mean, it doesn't matter. I told you I told you they were gonna come back. If you looked at my threads, you saw that I was, on the Cultura threads. Follow us on threads. Cultura. Cultura. It's what I said. I said they're all gonna come back to the table, and ultimately in the end, what's gonna happen? Butler's gonna sign an extension with the Heat. Get the fuck out of here. Butler's not gonna go anywhere. Butler's staying here. You knew what was gonna happen. Like if you know the Heat, you know the vibe of this team. You knew that was gonna happen. All that shit was bullshit. All that shit was media. Everything that was talked about was all crap. It was just media trying to start shit. They did the same thing with Wade. They did the same thing with LeBron. All that was bullshit. Fucking bullshit. They don't know how to cover the Heat. They don't know how to cover this team. They don't know how to nobody watches. If you're not a Miami Heat guy, you're not watching this team. You're watching highlights and shit. Listening to other people that don't watch the team on the internet. So it's like, come on, get out of here. I don't need this shit. I did not pay attention to anything. I knew it was all bullshit, and ultimately he would come back, and now we have what we have, which is like he's trying to be salty all the time. But fuck him. Don't let him be salty. Put him back out there. Put the ball in his hands. Make Jimmy the fucking point guard. And make Jimmy run the shit, this team. Put him to work. Put him to work. Because if he, why? Because you put the spotlight on him and everybody gets to see it. Oh, you want to throw the game? Cool, throw the fucking game. Go fucking be an asshole. Pass up layups. Do all the shit. Look like a total dick. Go ahead. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead. Because when you do it, everybody sees that shit. And you think they're gonna give you a contract? You think they're gonna like take you because like they see how you are? You've already got a history on you, man. You've already got like this pattern. So like, it's to our benefit to let you just be, make everything look like a mess. Because no one's gonna want to take you at that point. No, instead, put the ball in his hands so he knows he's got to play great. Because he wants a better contract and he wants to show up the heat. Go ahead. I don't believe that he wants to leave. He doesn't want to leave. He's just talking all that shit. Maybe part of him at some point want to leave, but deep down inside, why would you? No, you don't want to leave this place. Everybody talks about Miami. Everybody talks about Florida. But the moment that you're here and you get here, you don't want to leave this place. I don't know what to tell you. I hate it because I want to leave this place sometimes. I would love to go out to LA and stuff, but look, I'd be dying in LA with the fires and stuff. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'd rather deal with a hurricane than deal with like a fire shit. Because that shit's, it's bad enough that you go out there and you gotta worry about an earthquake just popping out of nowhere. Like, I don't know how to deal with that. And dealing with fire? No. Give me water, give me wind, give me rain, give me the lightning, fine. But no, don't give me no fucking fire. I don't need that shit. No. I don't want it. No, thank you. So, I don't know, man. Things are weird. Things are weird right now. With all that stuff, with all the vibe and el fucking naranja come miel de bebinga coming back. I don't even want to like really get into that. Honestly, I really don't. I have nothing to say. The whole TikTok thing. Like I'm stupid because I don't use TikTok enough, and I should be using TikTok a lot, especially for this show. And because I did it and I got a lot of views and it was like, oh wow, it's great. But I just couldn't keep up with it because I can't just fucking, damn, bro. Este juego, I didn't want to keep giving effort to do it when every game was just the same. It was more of the same, and I just found myself to be just repetitive. I found myself to be just a broken record, and I hate that. Hate that every time I was coming here, I was talking about the same thing. I was talking about Duncan Robinson, fucking this, and talking about that. No, same thing. No, I don't want that. That's why it came out now, because this is something different to talk about. Where, finally, we're doing a lineup change. This has got to light up a fucking shit up Bam's ass, because Bam has been shitty all season long. We all know it. Bam, right now, Bam has had a shitty season. Don't get me bring it. For sure. Can't have that, man. You're a fucking goddamn 2-time gold medalist, fucking all-star guy. But are you really an all-star guy, or are you just a backup all-star guy? That they feel sorry for. Sorry, having a Kit Kat. Not sponsored by Kit Kat. If Kit Kat wants to sponsor me, that'd be great. I love Kit Kats. It's like a simple, wholesome treat. It's not like fucking Snickers, because it has your nuts and the caramel and all this stuff. No. It's just the wafer, chocolate, crunch. Thank you. Goodbye. So yeah, Kit Kat. But just chocolate. I don't want no flavor Kit Kats, man. Don't bring me like Technicolor Rainbow Kit Kat. No, thank you. Just plain, regular chocolate. The reality is, which was what I was saying before, is that, there's nobody to trade anybody for. There's no one that's going to, magically flip the script unless it's like a superstar, like a huge star. And nobody's going to give up a huge star for a huge star. Nobody's going to do that. Everybody's trying to trade Butler for like a second-hand guy. For like, someone, they were saying like, oh, Butler for Middleton. Get the fuck out of here. Butler is not Middleton. Butler's Giannis. I know not of you don't want to believe it because you're all assholes. But that's the reality. Butler is one of the top guys in the league. You have seen it. Even if you have it, the thing is we live in a time where the facts, a lot of you don't care about the facts. Like, I could bring the facts to you and you're still going to be like, I don't care. I don't like him. So I think he sucks. And it's like, Dude, you know, that's like a childish, immature thing to say, man. And I understand why you say it because I was like that as a kid. I was like that with like the Jets, for example. How, the Jets were always gonna do. And it's no, man, no, no, no. Like I will give it to you that Butler is not the best player in the league, but he's definitely one of the best players in the league. Definitely one of the best players in the league. Don't tell me no, man. The last 5 seasons have proven that he is. He's been a star the last 5 years. He's been a star because he starts the media stuff and everybody loves that. He's been a star because he's in the commercials. He's been a star because he's got his coffee thing. He's a recognizable name. He's been a star because he's the go-to guy. He's the guy that gets the last shot. Butler's issue here is that he's really realizing that there's the other guys on this team are starting to get better than him and they're catching up to him. Hero especially. I don't want to say that there's friction between him and Hero. There isn't. But could it be that he feels like I always want to be the guy? It's not that I don't like it, I don't like it, but I personally always have to be the guy. So when I'm on a team that I'm not the guy, it's like, oh, I just want to go somewhere else and just, ride the coattails and just win. I'm just gonna cruise. Like, nah, man, that's bullshit. Because you are the guy here. It's just, January. It's not July or it's not June. You know what I mean? It's like, hello. We need you to be the guy in June, man. We need you to be the guy in fucking, April, May. Not the guy in January. In January, you just need to be a really great role player, really good leader, and just, get everybody to kind of help you get through this shit so that when we get to the fucking point that we need you to be the guy, you're healthy, you're available, and like everybody else is like seemingly the same. And it's this thing, I want to be the guy. Okay, well then, you want to be the fucking guy, be the guy. Put up fucking 40, 50 fucking points then. But you don't do it because you start taking fucking threes and you miss them. You start taking bunny shots and you miss them. And don't tell me you haven't done that because all season long, his shot has been off. I'm sorry, I almost choked there. Oh, I did choke there. I died. Sorry, I died right there. Dry throat, that's what happens. All season long, his shot's been off. I thought he was going to come into the season and have a great, his shot was going to be like dynamite. It's not. Today, garbage. The little that he did, let's be real. He should have had more. And I hate to sound like that. I hate to sound like that when we have a win and it's a win by like 10, 15 points. But this doesn't happen against a really good team. Celtics, we ain't winning this game against Celtics playing like this. No. We're losing by 1. We're losing by 1 because Butler misses a free throw. Some shit like that. And that's like, come on. No. You gotta buy in. You gotta be in here, bro. I don't know. I would like to try more. I definitely want to put more stuff into the TikTok now that it's like come back from the dead apparently. But now it's owned by Trump apparently, and it's like completely like, oh, we're licking his boots now. So it's like, is everyone gonna lick his fucking boots now? It's like, what the hell's wrong with everybody, bro? It's ridiculous. But next game's the 21st, so there's some time. There's some time. I almost missed this game. I didn't realize this game was now. I thought they were playing. I'm pretty sure they're playing tonight, but I thought it would be that night. I didn't think it would be, but I guess it makes sense with the game. So yeah. But I don't know, man. Last I'll leave is just that this team is not by any means like out of it. We just have to really start playing like we want it, man. Because we can't be stuck in another playing tournament, playing game. We can't go through that grind, man. We don't need to go through that grind. Let someone else go through that shit. But we have a lot of catching up to do, man. But we just can't. We can either fold right now, or we can push forward, man, and like make this the start of a good run. Because everybody we can beat, man. I know we've lost to a lot of people, but I come on, man. We should be better. You know, we're up against the Trailblazers coming home. We could win that. Then we got to go to the Bucks, and that's going to be the real big game, and that's going to be a really big test. But you know, the Bucks are 4, man, and the Bucks are exactly where we're at, and why should we fear the Bucks? You know, the Bucks started the season terrible. Like, why? How could we have let them pass us like that? No, man. A lot has to change, man. A lot has to change because right now the Magic have our number, and the Magic are the 7th. The Magic started out so great, you know, and nobody believes the Cavs. Nobody still believes the Cavs. I don't give a shit. The Cavs are 35-6. I don't buy that team. You buy that team? No way. You know what it's gonna be? It's gonna be Celtics. So it's just we gotta make sure we get out of the 8, bro, because we can't go and face the Celtics in the first round. We gotta take the Celtics on in the last round, some shit like that, after they've been softened up a bit. And that's how it works. But we gotta get out of this fucking playing shit, and we gotta have a really good run right now and just run right through everybody. I mean, I don't fear anybody, dude. We shouldn't fear anybody. Like, we should still technically compete with everybody. It's just, it's us. It's not them. It's us. This season has been us, not them. This whole thing. And it shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't, you know? We should be one of the top 5 teams in the league for sure. There are so many games that we kind of like just gave up because we just literally gave up halfway through the game. A lot has to change still, but we can be happy that today was a breakthrough. There's no doubt. There's no doubt in anybody's mind that today was not a break. Come on, today was totally a breakthrough. We found something new that we can build around now. And I'm telling you, man, Jimmy's got to buy in, man, because that face that he had, I didn't like that face that he had. I could have read it wrong. I could be wrong myself. Whatever, man. But I'm pretty sure everybody that's going to fucking see this shit, everybody's going to fucking see the fucking, the footage. They're all going to say the same thing. Oh, Jimmy's not buying in. Jimmy doesn't want to be there. Jimmy this, Jimmy that, whatever. Like, he's got to be aware that everybody's hyper-focused on him, man. And he can control that simply and erase that narrative just by being a little bit more interactive with guys. Just you know, because you saw when him and Duncan Robinson were going back and forth after Duncan Robinson had that crazy dunk. And I feel Duncan Robinson doesn't take his shit anymore. I feel like at the beginning Duncan Robinson was almost like Jimmy would almost bully him, you know, because that's what Jimmy does. But Duncan Robinson needed to. He needed to get bullied because Duncan Robinson should be like as good as fucking goddamn Tyler Hero. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay? It's ridiculous. Duncan Robinson is too far behind where he should be. He should be much better. Much better. If we can all put it together, this team will compete. It's that simple. There really isn't much else to say. So I don't want to keep repeating it. I'm glad I came back. I know it feels good to come back and get back on this. I guess I want to do that now more because I don't want to really be on Threads so much anymore. I don't want to be tight. I'm going back to Threads, like, so they restricted my account again for like no reason, and they're like, oh, your activity, we didn't like your activity, so we're restricting you for a whole week. And it's like, okay, well, tell me the activity that I did. And they don't tell you the activity, they don't show you what it was. You go around, nothing's wrong, everything's fine. You can still like shit, you can still in, but they basically restrict your account. They basically toss you down, push you down further. To me, it's like the times that it's happened, it's like I've commented on stuff on Instagram. Like I'll go on Instagram and I'll see like somebody, doing a donut somewhere in a car. And I'm like, man, it's a bad idea or something like that. But for the most part, I've reverted now to just posting GIFs because it's a lot safer to just post a GIF to convey your feeling rather than just actually type something nowadays. Because if you type something, they're gonna read it and it's they're gonna restrict your account. So at this point, I'm very wary about even putting my thoughts out there. I'd rather just respond via GIF from now on, or let clips from movies do my responding, because you respond with your voice and you respond with your typing, and it's gonna come back and they're gonna like restrict your account and they're not gonna like it, and we're moving into a really rough part where people like still don't have any idea or realize how bad it's gonna ultimately be. Like, I think the first time you had totally the right to think that, like, no, it was like, it's not a big deal. Whatever, it's fine. Everything's fine. Because those guys didn't know what they were doing. Now they know not what they were doing. They still don't know what they're doing. But they know now that we won't do anything. They know that now. They know that because, we didn't do anything when they shoot kids. We didn't do anything when they shot people. We don't do anything when they just they blatantly break the law and they overturn laws and then they pass this. We haven't done nothing. We've just been like, okay, fine, you passed it, so we'll try and fix it by literally winning the election that they won seemingly handedly, right? Like, oh, and you know what, we're totally gonna believe you and we're gonna like trust the system and trust that everything was fine and nothing was like weird and there wasn't anything fake, right? No, didn't even investigate, nothing. Okay, well, it's fine, shit. We're just bending over for them, like left and right. So it's like, okay, well, what else are they gonna take? So when you do that, like to somebody who's like an oppressor and who's an abuser, they don't just abuse you; they go beyond, man. They bring in their friends to abuse you at this point because they realize they don't have something to abuse. They have a pet. They have like a toy. And that's what like we are now. Like we're all toys to these people. And we're all things and playthings that they can go, to either war with or go do this with or do that with. Like it's one thing for them to just kind of make people think that that's the way it is, but this is something else, man. Like they know that we know that they suck, and then they know that we're not going to do anything about it. So we're in a very precarious thing. And we're just like, well, just give us our football, just give us our basketball, just give us our sports, and give us our movies, and give us a thing. But then at the same time, you knock down the content of fucking like content creators and people that entertain you in between the fucking like football and all this shit. That's why a lot of you want football all the time, because it's like, oh, this is the only thing that entertains me because I don't read a book. Or shit, I don't even read comics. Like a lot of you don't have hobbies. A lot of you don't have things to keep the time. Like, fuck, you could take away, I love football. I love sports. I love it. You could take all that shit away. They took that shit away during pandemic and I didn't give a fuck. I was like, oh, this is great. I can start drawing again. That's where my brain immediately went. Where the fuck did you go, huh? Oh, I can't go out. Oh my God, I can't go to the club. Oh my God, I can't go to a restaurant. Oh my God, I can't go there. Oh my God, I can't see this girl. Oh my God, I can't fuck. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, whatever, bro. I've got like a whole collection of movies and shit to keep me company. And I know there's tons of anime we can watch and all this stuff. And It's no different from like communicating people online. I mean, because most people weren't really going out anymore. It's too expensive to go out. And now, forget it, bro. Forget that. It's crazy expensive now. Crazy expensive. So, I don't know, man. Prepare yourselves because things are gonna just get worse. I think. I really think they're just gonna get worse, and it's what's worse in the sense that it's gonna be like all disguised as something. Because look how they disguise the whole TikTok shit now. Oh, this was it was Trump that was like calling for the ban, and then all of a sudden it's the Trump he's the savior, and everyone's eating. Oh, thank you, you got my TikTok back. Oh my god, oh my god, the NFL is back. Oh my god, oh my god, NBA is back. Oh my god, and it's like it's more the same, dude, and it's until a lot of you people, I mean, like, a lot of you people really became not addicted to TikTok, but you just you made it your livelihood, and that's great that you did that. That's great, and that's totally understandable why you'd fight for that. But people need to understand that that's the reason why they want to shut that shit down. The United States doesn't want people to make money off of China. They don't want China paying you. Because imagine if China has enough. If China, how much money is they making from TikTok? Because if they're able to pay everybody in the world and pay them well enough that they can just quit their fucking day job, that's a problem, man. That's a problem. It's a problem for some people, especially the people that own, the office buildings and shit. But you see, their fuck up isn't that, oh, they want their assholes and they don't see it. They just don't know how to change, man. Instead of, well, you know what? Instead of fucking making an office building where you have fucking stuffy ass office shit, just rent the fucking office building out to the TikTok people. But then they charge like too much money, and it's like, oh, well, fuck that. TikTok people just do it from their house. I mean, I'm in the same dilemma with the studio. Like, I have the studio space, and it's like, I want to use the studio space, but I need something big to use the studio space in. Like, I can't be going to the studio space just to do, like, little small videos and just shit. And, like, even the streaming and the broadcast, because it costs money for me to drive down there. It costs time. It takes me, like, 45 minutes just to get to the fucking place. So it's more convenient for me to just do it from home. And for me to use a studio, I need a big project. I need like a huge film project where there's gonna be like 20 people and shit, and we're directing everybody. People need to appreciate content, man. Because the content is gonna get you through a lot of the bullshit in the next 4 years. And beyond. Because I'm already preparing my mindset that it ain't gonna stop at 4 years. It's gonna go longer. Because again, we're not willing to do anything. Like, we don't fight back. And I'm sorry to say fight back, like, and I hate to, of course, obviously you don't want to call for violence and stuff like that. That's not what anybody ever wants. But unfortunately, what happens when violence is being put on you? That's what happens with the Luigi guy, dude. And it's like, who's justified? Because that CEO guy is just as big as a monster. And like, none of this needs to happen. If people just were 10% less greedy than they are now, like, a lot of the world would be fixed, because that's how much money that they're hoarding. They're not hoarding like, oh my god, skin of their teeth kind of thing. No, bro, they have so much money that they could just give up like literally like 10% of it and give that back to people and shit, and that would change people's lives. Like, everybody would get like, $1,000 or some shit like that. Shit, everybody get $500 check, bro. Bro, if like Amazon would just give everybody like a $500 gift card every fucking month or some shit like that, like 500, like you spend money on Instagram and then eventually you get money back, like, and it's not some fucking stupid credit card deal with interest or whatever. I don't fucking know. Just something like legit where it's like, no, money you spent, we're giving it back because we just, we have too much of it. Like, there needs to be a cap on companies. Like, you can't make more than $1 trillion. There needs to be a cap on pricing. Can't price shit up more than it already is. It shouldn't cost more than this. Because if not, I mean, at this point, you got to think like in a couple decades, well, shit's gonna be like crazy expensive, and but there's no income, and we already see that there's not enough income because people are just hoarding at the top because they want to control all that money, and until people stop that from happening, like it's just gonna get worse. And right now, I think we crossed a point where it's like, oh, we had an opportunity to really like press ahead and really go better, but all we had to do was stomp somebody, or stomp a few people, you know, and we weren't willing to stomp a few people to save millions. Instead, we were like, no, we don't want people to have the memory of us stomping on those people just so we have a prosperous, better life. We'd rather just let it play out and let these horrible people eventually wake up and realize that they're horrible people and then apologize to us. And then give us back everything that they've stolen and taken from us. Like, that's how we're thinking right now. And, yeah, until we change that, we're fucked. So, but you know what? I say it all the time, man, and you know it. And I mean, and strangely enough, it's still a very good mantra for me, and it's good. It's been good to me, and it gets me through the day still, man. And that's why I repeat it every time I do this show. And you know what it is. Because sometimes it's the truth, man. You know? Sometimes it's like, you know, that actually makes a lot of sense. So I repeat it to you today, as I always do. You know? Don't freak out. Just freak out.